Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. We are at the Women of HVAC event in Jacksonville, Florida. We're super excited. So I am Cassie, but I am by myself. Leslie is not here this week. We are still moms. And so the glorious thing about Leslie and I's partnership is we understand that. So we're still moms and she is at home with the kids this week. And so I'm here, but I'm super excited because Jen McKee from Kee Hart Marketing is one of the sponsors for our podcast and she's jumping in to help me. And we have our guest, Chloe Leith. And so the theme, one of the themes for the Women of HVAC conference this year is share your story. And so we just want to utilize our time while we're here talking to as many as people as we can to just hear your story. And so, Chloe, what's your story? Where are you from?
I am from outside the Chicagoland area. I grew up there and we moved around a little bit. My husband and I, we met in high school. So we're high school sweethearts. And then I went to college and he went into the Air Force and we ended up back in the Chicagoland area.
And so your business is in that area?
Yeah, that's where our business is.
Awesome. So what is the name of your company?
Leith Heating and Cooling.
Leith Heating.
So Leith is like, I always say, people always get it wrong. And especially my name's Chloe Leith. It used to be Baker. Baker was a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
But now Chloe Leith becomes, clover leaf or coral reef or
that's so funny because I get like
is always wrong.
Yeah. So I do Leith is like Keith, but with an L.
Okay. Okay. I hear you. So, just kind of for perspective, what size is your company?
We have 6 technicians and we just really started to grow our company probably about 3 years ago. It's just been my husband and myself for we've been around for 17 years. So, but it took us till about listening to podcasts and getting a business coach and doing this stuff and going, oh, wait a minute. We don't have to do it all.
And we don't have to struggle.
And we don't have to, so we don't have to do it all. So we've been growing by leaps and bounds in the last, I'd say 3 years when we really turned ourselves from being like technicians that made a job for ourselves, it's exactly what he did, to being business owners.
Who's your business coach? It's
BDR.
BDR. Yeah. So we had BDR on recently and that podcast actually just went live a few weeks ago. And when people ask me, because it's a really like scary thing for someone to ask you for a business coach because it almost makes me emotional. Like, I do not want to screw this up for you, when someone asks me. Yeah. And so I always say, because I've seen, and let me say the reason why is I've seen people choose the wrong business coach or hire someone that was not even a business coach or didn't have the experience. Right. And so it could be detrimental for someone. So if I put my stamp on it, I got to know that I know that I know. Yeah. And so my go-to referrals are always Nexstar, which is who we're a part of, or BDR, which we were never a part of. But I can tell you, my experience with BDR from everyone that I've talked to, it's an amazing organization that's highly focused on numbers and that you really need to know your numbers.
You really do.
And the numbers are the game changer of everything, right? And so, how has your experience been with BDR?
It's been great. So we meet with our head coach twice a month and then our financial coach twice a month. And the head coach, I'd say he's more geared towards my husband because they can just like talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And he helps me too, but really the financial coach is where I get into the ring and really I level up with her because of that. And because of that, the whole company has gone up. It's been an amazing journey with BDR.
When you understand your numbers, and listen, we have at Quality, we have over 20 trucks. People ask me that all the time. And after 20, I quit counting, but over 20 trucks, we are set to do, double-digit millions of dollars this year. And that's our budget next year. But we still, on a regular basis, will drill down onto one number, one KPI, and see how much just a few points can change the revenue for the whole year. And it's just like, we should already know this by now. But you never know it.
You need somebody to tell you every day. And it's almost like, when you put up those inspirations on the wall, and you forget. And the reason I do that is because I forget to smile every day, to imagine every day. I really do, and sometimes you just need somebody to remind you of that. And when your coach reminds you of that every 2 weeks, like, hey, you go, oh yeah, that's right. I got to do that.
My business coach, the other day, I sent him a message about our tech generated lead number from October. And I was like so excited because I was like, look what we did. And he was like, okay, cool. Let's do the math. And I was like,
oh no.
So I walked back in the office and I was like, okay, I was on the phone in the car pickup line to pick up my daughter. And I was like, okay, I got to go. I'll call you back. I was like so frustrated. I walked back into the office and I was like, well, got humbled real quick, guys, because he's not wrong. We didn't look at it that way. We were looking at the actual number of leads and not what we did with them. Now, some of them, and we were looking at what we did with them, but some of them, we had moved to a different month and whatever. But I was like, that'll humble you real quick. But I cannot even tell you how important it is to have a relationship with someone that knows how to run a business, but does not work in your business every day because they can see things.
Yes, they can.
Girl, and they call you out. And I'm like, I called you about something else, sir. I called you about something else. What are you talking to me about like that for?
Yeah.
So Jen, we came in, used to when we would book these events, we would, and I think Rita and Kaylee are back here, right? Rita's our producer and Kaylee is the assistant for the show. And so they want a plan of who we're going to talk to. Sure. And I'm like, quit trying to give me I want a plan of when we can record, but I want to go meet people and bring them up instead of having too specific. And so Jen came to me and said, I just met Chloe. I think she's a great person for the podcast. And had you guys met before?
So Chloe reached out to us about social media services, and we don't work together, but she's on my email list. I know that sounds silly.
From Leslie. From Leslie. So I reached out to Leslie on Facebook and I said, who do you use? Your social media is awesome. And she's like, of course, here, this is who I use. And that was probably...
That was like 2 years ago.
It was at least 2 years ago.
So then, you see people's name tag and I walked past her. I was like, wait a minute. I know you. Because I've also just checked in with you. I feel like over the years, how's everything going?
Well, okay, listen, don't even then I start talking to her too. And then she's like, well, on your Facebook. And I'm like, dang, I'm Facebook friends with her too. Yeah. But that happens to me all the time because I'm at Facebook's almost max of friends. And so I'll be like, so Jen is Leslie, and I hate that Leslie's not here to this part of the story because Leslie, I asked Jen, I was like, is it fair to say that Leslie got you started in the trades? And she said, absolutely. Leslie was her first.
Me to people. And Leslie's a connector. I was just reading Tipping Point and it talks about connectors and I'm like, Leslie is a connector. She
is a connector for sure.
I feel like you are too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's just we want to share our growth and what works.
But that's how you succeed.
When you find that stuff,
when you can.
But Leslie's love language is love and giving. Mm-hmm. And if I will open the mailbox sometimes and it'll be some random gift that she sent me a blanket here not long ago. Her gift is love her love language is giving. But I think she also giving for her is giving by referrals and giving whatever she can give. She pours out a lot. Yeah. And she also saves my life a lot too, because I try to be like that. And I love to give gifts and I love to do those things too. And I love to share, but I have a switch. I can switch and be like, I can be a different person. And so she has to rein me back in sometimes. So anyway, good special shout out Leslie, since she's not here. Look at all those nice and wonderful things I said about her.
She did. It was really nice of her.
She's sweet. But so what do you manage all your own marketing still?
So when it goes to social media, my daughter does it. My 17-year-old daughter that is a high school student. And I share it. I told her yesterday, I'm like, I'm sure you get that. And you're like, oh, everybody's 17-year-old
Everybody's at their
kid.
own level. And like in the same sentence, my goal is to help the trades elevate in social media in whatever way that is. So if that means that, you can take the free content that I have and then add it to your own and get better. Like all I want is for the trades to have a better social media presence.
100%. And that's the thing too, is that we don't sleep on this younger generation. Like they are a lot smarter than us.
Your daughter probably really understands social
media way better. Like way better than the majority of us.
She hates it too.
Yeah. It's so funny.
She's like,
but you said she's going into communications.
She is. She does.
So
she
cool.
was. And
she was inspired.
Yeah. I think it's actually has inspired her to go into communications. And
and I've told that story a few times of like, I interviewed Kaylee from her dorm room when she was like 2 days away from graduating college. And I was like, you're the perfect fit. And she's like so excited. And then all the time I'm always like, she went to Baptist University. She grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like she doesn't get offended, but sometimes I tell her, maybe you are a little sheltered. And I'm like, look what the trades has done to Kaylee. Kaylee has literally been like, the trades, you'll learn so many things here. But anyways, but the younger experiences as it comes to social media was a game changer for us.
Oh yeah. I look for people. A lot of my hires are right out of college. Like there's still strategy to it, right? That you have to teach. And I'm sure, that is what
it is straight organic, like,
but
it's
there's
not
just
what you do.
There is like a little bit of like humor and understanding of the platforms and like what works on
100%. And like, you're a huge advocate for TikTok, and Kaylee's able to manage our TikTok. We work with Jen at Quality, but she doesn't do all the pieces for us because I have Kaylee in the building, but I couldn't put those TikToks together.
It is so much work.
Yeah.
It is. And she doesn't, we don't do that because it is so much work.
Yeah.
That is a full-time position.
Trying to like, and then having to get she'll get the technicians like, and they have to be in the mood.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Sometimes they're in the mood to dance, and then sometimes no.
But it makes such a difference, right? And like one thing that was pointed out to me from you guys, and there was someone else who said it, is how great it is for recruiting, because especially when you do get the techs involved and it's like, this actually looks like a place that would be fun to work at.
100%.
And you can't fake it. Like,
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review at Apple, and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.